YouTube has decided to not share my videos with everyone who subscribes. Please follow me on social media to stay up to date. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Rustl'd for the 4th of June, 2018. This is my very first audio podcast version of the show. If you're unfamiliar with what I do, I go by the name Mundane Matt on YouTube, and I cover a lot of weird, crazy news that I'm compiling together for this particular show. And throughout Rustl'd, we're going to be going through a lot of maybe smaller stories you may not hear about from conventional news sources, as well as just some of the wilder shit that's out there. Nothing is off limits. Sometimes it will be dark, sometimes it will be funny, sometimes it will be most likely cringe. But at the end of the episode, you're going to be a little bit more informed than you were at the beginning. At least that's what I hope. I'm pretty good at what I do, so I'm gonna argue that things are gonna work out okay. So first things first today, I want to talk about this story. One of the things I hate are false rape accusations. I really do. They clutter up the system. They're more prevalent than you think, despite what people try to tell you. And it's always good to see somebody who makes a false claim get busted. And that's the whole story here with Nikki Jovino. She's 19 years old. She went to Sacred Heart University, and she got caught making up a fake rape claim in order to gain sympathy from another student who she wanted to date. Yeah, this chick wanted the D so bad that she made up a false rape claim in order to get some dude to basically pity fuck her. What world do we live in where that's a thing, right? What world do we live in? And this girl's not unattractive, by the way. She's definitely a cutie, and she needed to make up a rape in order to get sympathy sex, and maybe trick this guy into liking her. Now, Nikki here is charged with felony evidence tampering and a misdemeanor for falsely reporting an incident. If convicted, she could get 5 years in jail. 5 years in jail for something Tinder could have solved in literally 20 minutes. Look, ladies, I get it. There's a guy you like out there. Maybe he's not giving you the attention that you want, the attention that you need, the attention that you feel you fucking deserve. But you know what? There's plenty other fish in the sea. Okay, there's plenty other D for the C. Okay, you know what I'm saying here? Like, this kind of thing could have been easily avoided, but this is how she chose to emotionally manipulate a guy, right? So she made up a false claim that 2 football players raped her, right? That's her claim, that 2 college football players raped her, so she could catfish a guy into going out with her. Look, part of me wants her to get the sentence. Why? Because I feel if you're going to go that far to try to destroy the lives of 2 innocent men on college campus just so some other dude will fuck you, there's clearly an issue here, and one that I do believe needs to be sorted with a lot of counseling, and maybe 5 years behind bars might actually help with that. Plus, it's my own personal opinion, my own personal belief, and you could think entirely differently here. But it's my own personal belief that the more types of cases like this get prosecuted as made examples of, then the fewer of them we might see. And that just benefits everybody. Now, jumping over into, this is really fucked up. And I definitely don't feel bad for what's coming to this guy. I want to tell you guys a story of Robert Crossland, who taught in Preston, Idaho. And he's been charged with misdemeanor animal cruelty. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what did a teacher do that would constitute misdemeanor animal cruelty? Back in March, and this is crazy shit here. He fed a puppy to a snapping turtle, right? In front of his class, in front of his students, this guy fed a puppy to a snapping turtle. Now, apparently, the puppy was sick and the puppy was dying, and he felt like this was the best way to go about, using what nature gives you, I guess. And he thought, well, the turtle's hungry, the dog's dying. It seems humane. Yeah, I don't think a snapping turtle is gonna, is gonna sit there and drown the puppy first in order to make sure that there's at least some form of, non-painful situation. This whole situation isn't funny, by the way, but I don't know any other way to kind of talk about it here. So Mr. Crossland could be jailed up to 6 months and fined for $5,000 if he's convicted. And the thing is the incident here sparked petitions for and against this guy, right? Now, that's crazy. That's crazy that there were people out there that were trying to go, no, 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 what he did was humane. One of the petitions that called for his firing had asked the question, do we really want teachers killing living animals in front of impressionable junior high students? And the answer to that, with its 190,000 signatures, is a resounding nah, dog, nah, right? I mean, the 190,000 people are probably a fair amount of them are brought on from PETA, who did say here that Mr. Crossland was a bully who should not be allowed near impressionable young people. I don't have the full context here. The dog was dying. He fed the dog to a turtle. I mean, is it just because it's a puppy that we look at it this particular way? That's my question when I read this kind of story. Because I mean, look, you have a snake, right, and you feed it a mouse in front of students, right? Or you've got a tarantula and you feed it crickets, or you feed it a mouse that it drinks the blood from. There are always, predator prey scenarios in school showing kids how the cycle of life works itself in nature, something that they, God willing, in their life won't have to deal with themselves. But here's a situation where you've got this snapping turtle who eats a puppy. It's unorthodox, and I don't agree with it, but I'm trying to look at this from the other perspective here of like, was it as bad as people are making it out to be? PETA's got no real room to talk about shit when it comes to fucking dealing with dead animals. All right, this is an organization that got busted for literally dumping the carcasses of euthanized animals behind. I'm not even kidding you. In Atlanta, behind fast food joints. They were busted doing this. They've also supported domestic terrorism through some of their financial endeavors. So PETA can straight kiss my ass. In no way do I care what they have to say. But there was a counter protest or a counter petition here that says, we support Crossland, and it urged people to show support for a man that has taught science in a new way and truly loves his job. And so far, all he's got is 3,700 signatures. That's a far cry from the 190K. But like I said, a lot of those people probably saw the headline, teacher feeds puppy to snapping turtle in front of students, and they immediately freak out. And the thing is, those headlines are designed, by the way, 100% to elicit that general type of reaction. So I understand why people are upset about that. And some of his supporters said the puppy was dying and it was the right thing to do. The incident happened after school in front of a small number of students, while authorities are saying that it's not part of the mainly of school activities. Okay, but here's the kicker: the turtle was actually seized by the Idaho State Department of Agriculture when it learned that Mr. Costland here had no permit for it. And so when they took the turtle from him, when they took this turtle that had eaten a sick dying puppy, they humanely euthanized it, as they considered it an invasive species. So not only did the dog die, but the dog died as like the last meal essentially for like this snapping turtle that they considered an invasive species. I don't know, like that part angers me too. It's like feeding the dying dog to the turtle in front of students. Yeah, maybe not the best course of action, but then the state taking the turtle and euthanizing it humanely because it's considered not good for Idaho. Again, doesn't really do much to make me feel better about the situation as a whole. But some of just real messed up situations here, and people having things taken from them that they shouldn't. You've got an immigrant family right now that had $58,000 stolen by customs coming into the country. Not even kidding this up. So what you've got here is a family's life savings was seized at an airport by Customs and Border Protection agents, and they're being sued right now by the family, the Kazazi family, an immigrant family from Albania, that they were set to fly to that country from Cleveland, where they now live. So they were moving to that country from Cleveland, and they had the $58,100 in cash that was taken by a customs agent. Now, the reason why this happened is because sums of more than $10,000 must be reported to the Customs and Border Protection agents, right? And they don't want you taking large sums of cash. And it says you may bring or take out of the country as much money as you wish, but the guy never reported it. Now, the 64-year-old Rustam Kazazi does say here that he was interrogated without a translator, and then was not given an explanation as to why the savings were seized. No one from the family was charged with any crime, and the money hasn't been returned. And that's messed up, right? Like, I understand there's rules there, right? I understand it. I get it. But at the same time, I think that's ridiculous. I think if it's just the dude's leaving the country with money, I get it. If he's stolen something, you don't want him to have it, blah, 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 blah. But it's just, come on, it's an immigrant, who he had 3 envelopes in his carry-on luggage. He intended to use it to fix up a family home and potentially buy a home on the coast, as well as to help other struggling family members still in Albania. So he's going home to fix up a house, to maybe buy another house, because $58,000 in Albania apparently goes a long way. And he wanted to help other struggling family members in his home country. And our Custom and Border Protection Agency stole his green, and he hasn't gotten it back yet. So at this point, he is trying to get it back. He's trying to get the money. However, the CBP, they think they've done okay, right? In the letter that they sent him, not even kidding you, in the letter that they sent him, they said that they claim that they took the money because it was involved, and this is their words, involved in smuggling/drug trafficking/money laundering operation. That's it. So this guy had saved up $58,100, was returning home to take care of people with money that he had made, and the Border Patrol is just like, or Border Custom agents, whatever, are like, nah, you're involved in money laundering and drug trafficking and smuggling. So we're taking your money, and then now he's suing them, trying to get it back. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I really hope the guy gets his cash back, because if he had earned it legally, and I don't know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but if he earned it illegally and they took his cash, that is beyond the pale fucked up. And I hope that I hope he gets his just desserts, because I've had shit taken from me from TSA, right? So I understand it. I had a Nintendo Switch stolen by TSA last year. I got it back, but I had to fight for it a little bit to get it back. So I get it. So I'm on this dude's side implicitly. So until we find out he's an Albanian smuggler with a huge kill list, I got this guy's back. All right, so moving over into just okay news. And by okay, I still mean really what the fuck. You got a woman who's been arrested for attempting to remove her boyfriend's testicles during an altercation. Yeah. They say, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in this particular case, it really applies. So what you've got is a Canton, Ohio woman by the name of Jamie Ann Gimmel, 39 years old. Looks like she's going on 50. She was arrested for allegedly trying to remove her boyfriend's testicles during a physical altercation. Now, she was not successful in her attempt, but she did cause serious harm to her boyfriend's genital area, which required medical treatment. She also hit her boyfriend in the face. And the thing is, so she's been charged with felonious assault and domestic violence charges due to appear in court today, actually, the day that this podcast airs. So what exactly does that mean? What exactly does it mean that she caused serious harm to her boyfriend's genital area? Well, if she tried to remove the testicles, I'm just gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna suggest that it probably had to do with the mouth, right? It was just the mouth, or or some serrated object that could or could not be her teeth, right? And this is not the teabagging experience this gentleman was in for. But she beat him up. And the thing is, there's no joke there. Domestic abuse is no joke. Domestic violence against men or women, clearly no joke. And then she went for his testicles, which is it's nuts. Pun intended there. So thankfully she's been arrested, and felonious assault and domestic violence charges. Hopefully they'll get her on, because if she did in fact go after this guy's nuts, then you know what? Throw the phone book at her. You know what I mean? It doesn't leave marks, unlike what apparently this dude's genitals experienced. And finally today, guys, we've covered a couple crazy dark stories so far. This one is one that I do. The animal lover in me applauds, right? So a woman shoots and kills her husband during an argument, and get this, for beating their cat, right? A Dallas woman here shot and killed her husband this last Saturday, so yesterday, for beating the family cat. Now, if you don't know me, I have 5 cats. I love my cats to death, and so if somebody was hurting my cats, I would probably act very similar. So in that particular regard, I'm like, you go, girl. At the same time, shooting and killing the husband for beating the cat may not be enough of an excuse to get away with manslaughter charges here. Now, 47-year-old Mary Harrison told police that she shot her husband, Dexter Harrison, during an argument as he was beating their cat. The shooting just occurred before 7 a.m., and he was transported to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. She waived her Miranda rights while she was being interviewed and admitted to shooting her husband. So she, right away, right off the bat, right off the damn bat, was just like, I don't need my Miranda rights. I don't need a lawyer. I shot the bastard because he was beating Fluff, my actual, or Mr. Whiskers, you know. And the thing is, like, again, I have cats. I love my cats. They are my children next to my actual child. And if anyone were hurting them, I'd be upset. I'd be pretty pissed off too. So I completely understand where she's at. I get it. But at the same time, you know, wound him. Fire a warning shot. You don't have to shoot and kill him, right? You just maybe, you know, like aim near his general body and then, you know, a little bit off to one side and, you know, and then go from there. You don't have to shoot and kill your husband. Just scare him a bit and he'll leave the cat alone. No word whether or not the cat's okay or not. And ultimately, that's not even really the point of the story. But she has, in fact, been arrested and placed in jail for murder. Wait and see what happens. I'm pretty sure she'll file... You know, she'll plead not guilty. There's going to be a trial about it. I don't know if animal cruelty is going to tie into, you know, self-defense laws. I don't quite know where even Texas stands on a stand your ground law, if they even have them there. I mean, it's Texas, so I'm pretty sure that they do. But that being said, guys, that's today's episode. Those are the stories. That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy, crazy stuff. And I'm glad I get to be the one to tell you about them. And I hope you enjoy it. I would say leave a comment below, but this is a podcast. So hit me up on Twitter at Mundane Matt or Facebook Mundane Matt. You can Google it if you're new and come find me. Say hello. Let me know if you like this and let me know if you want to see more because I'll do more of these things. There's always crazy shit to talk about. And if you like it, and this is the craziest thing, and you want to subscribe on iTunes or wherever you might be able to download this, by all means do that. Add to that. Feed my ego. Or... if you really want to help, patreon.com/Mundane Matt. Anyway, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been Rustl'd, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.